Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's me, Kia Simone, and we are here to talk about this Ladies Who List Atlanta reunion that they absolutely could have kept, okay? This was a bunch of unnecessary drama. It was quite disjointed and hard to follow, and this review, I pray, is not, because all I can do is give y'all what they gave me, okay? I wanted to take the Kiana route and get Ghost, like, child. Let's just get into this. But before we do, let me just start by acknowledging that we are at 6,200 subscribers. Thank you very much. And if you are not in that number, please be sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. Okay? Please and thank you. So, I'm just going to kind of really go point by point because that's the only way to really do this. Because it didn't make a lot of sense. Let's just get into it. So they kicked this reunion off talking about the fact that a week before the taping of the reunion, Kiana quit the show. Kiana, you are a wise woman. If you would like to direct me to your collection plate, I'd like to donate and bless the profit, because this is the absolute mess she predicted it to be. And I totally understand why she wanted no parts, because I don't want no parts either, but here we are. So the host asked this question about how they hurdle being black women in a white male-dominated field. And I'll be damned if Tiana ain't come completely prepped with her Baptist preacher quotes. Like, girl, what in the hell did Eve have to do with this? Well, you know, women, we have been disrupting things since the beginning of time. I mean, Eve, what? I mean, she just came in and, you know, turned the whole thing over. So, you know, let's not be surprised when women come in trying to dominate things. Girl, what? That's so, like, I can't. I'm not about to break it down. I'm just here to tell you what happened. That's it. Because I can't with this shit. She starts talking about how, you know, in order to be in this position, we had to be in the following position, in the learning phase. You know, we are now in our leadership positions and just doing it our own way. What? What? The question was, how do you hurdle being black women in a white dominated field? And she starts talking about Eve. Moving on. So the host asks about closing with celebrity clients. And they mentioned that Tiffany has closed with the likes of Cardi B and Angela Simmons. And she asks if there is any difference in closing with a celebrity client from a regular client. And Tiffany says no. You know, the process is the same, especially as a professional, because buying a home is a luxury, period. And she makes sure that she provides the same level of service to each and every client, regardless of, you know, their financial status or regardless of the price point that they're buying at. And the host responds with, but, like, let's keep it real. Closing with Cardi B had to be, like, lots of fun, you know. Tiffany is like, well, all I can really say is that it was a 10-hour process. You know, it was Christmas Eve, and it was definitely a very interesting experience. The host goes, well, that was great. See, yeah, that's like a pom-pom moment. Tiffany is, yeah, I stay cheering, girl. And the host, okay, TikTok. She gave me all of, she thinks she's hosting a game show. Kyra references that her key to success is relationship building and that relationship building is essential. And they ask Tiana about how being married to an NFL or ex-NFL player has helped her, because we know that proximity is key and she sells primarily to NFL players. So Tiana gives this rehearsed answer about how her husband is such an amazing man and he's an amazing leader of their family, and that, her husband has definitely helped her, but he did not put her on. Okay, girl, bye. Unless Tiana was selling to primarily NFL players prior to meeting and marrying her husband, you cannot tell me that if your primary client base is your husband's network, that he didn't put you on. Now, I'm not saying she didn't have a license. I'm not saying she wasn't operating. I'm not saying she wasn't making money when she met him. But one thing I agreed with that the host said is proximity is key. Or if you use the network that he has to your advantage to get to the level that you're at, then maybe he kind of put you on. I don't know. Y'all tell me what you think, because I could be wrong. It could be, I could be wrong. But I just feel like if you sell primarily to NFL players and you're married to an NFL player and you didn't have access to a bunch of NFL players before you married the NFL player, then it might be the NFL player that put you on, player. I'm just saying. We get to Robin's dinner. This was even more painful as a reunion than it was in real time. Lord, just let me get through this. Robin starts out, she's upset that Crystal didn't give her a heads up that Kiana had a beef with her. Which, yeah, Crystal should have. Crystal takes absolutely no accountability for not giving Robin a heads up. She says she should have minded her own business and let Robin fight her own battles because Robin clearly does not handle being challenged well, to which Robin responds by going off. They play the clip from the actual fight. They come back from the clip and the host mentions how Tiana had jumped up and, we saw her kind of come out of her bag. She responds by going off like a Baptist preacher by how she ain't gonna sit in this kind of environment and, girl. So then they brought up the fact that Robin got physical. Robin would take absolutely no accountability for getting physical. As a matter of fact, she said that wasn't physical and listed all these reasons why basically she was justified for putting her hands on Crystal. Like, now, let me tell you something, Robin. You run around here putting your hands on people and name a mental illness. And I'm going to tell you right now, somebody is going to tap your ass back because they crazy too. Okay? Let me tell you something I tell people all the time. When you jump crazy with people, you will find out who crazy because one day somebody going to jump right on back. You ain't the only fool out here. Okay? All right? And I don't say that to disregard mental illness or mental health because I know that mental health matters. However, I do say that to bring awareness, regard, and call bullshit when someone is weaponizing mental health, when you are manipulating mental health, when you think you have the right to be abusive and disrespectful in the name of mental health. Like, I don't have to be a victim of your mental health. Now, you may choose to be, and you may choose to not do whatever it takes to become healthy and operate from this unhealthy space, but I ain't got to tolerate that. So no, you're not going to be jumping around talking to people and putting your hands on people like you crazy. And then, I'm depressed and I'm anxious. Well, depressed people don't go around just hitting people. I'm going to tell you right now, I done kicked depression's ass. I done kicked anxiety's ass. I don't go around just kicking random people's ass because I done had to kick their ass. Okay? You better keep your hands to yourself for somebody dog walk you. That's my PSA for the day. Then we get into the whole thing about the word triggered. Robin wants it to be known that she's not upset about the word triggered as much as she's upset about the behavior of her friend, which is understandable. Then she says that the issue is how Crystal handled the situation, and that it should have never gotten to that level. That Crystal, if anything, should have come and tapped her on the leg, basically pulled her coattail and said, listen, you tripping and slipping, all right? However, that sounds real good until we see how Robin behaves later on when somebody does try to tap her and tell her, bring it on in, calm on down. And we saw how she snapped. As soon as you went off later on and somebody tried to tap, don't touch me. What in the demonic hell has possessed you? But let's move on. They're going live for lies. So Crystal claims to have had nervous energy. And, that's why she just kept saying it so many times. And she knows now that she got it wrong. However, Robin let it be known that old girl made t-shirts that said not easily triggered. So, no, you didn't get it wrong in the moment. It wasn't nervous energy. You said what you meant what you said, and then you went and made $1 from it. Like, girl. Crystal calls the move business-minded and off-color to have made t-shirts that said not easily triggered after she claims to have been sorry for triggering her friend. It's not business-minded and off-color. It's money-hungry and low. And then Crystal constantly makes these shady comments like, because I came from love, I just assumed that Robin knew. Like, girl, that's the thing about when you shame and shade people. Because Robin does a lot of mom shaming and age shaming. She really does. And the thing is, while it ain't right, while I may not like Crystal, hey, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. People can use your pain against you too. Have some respect. Have some compassion. Have the compassion you want people to have for you. These two deserve each other, and I told y'all that. Listen, then we get to this part where I'm not even going down this rabbit hole because I done said what I said in the previous reviews, and I meant what I said. I stand by what I said. We get to this point where they start to talk about this mom shaming. Robin is notorious for age shaming and mom shaming. Robin starts this whole thing about, they ask about, does Robin have a lot of girlfriends, because she said she's not a girl's girl. And she goes into, yes, I have a lot of women friends who are older. They're not in this catty, petty stage of their life. They're not in their 30s. They've done real things like birth children. Baby, if birth is the only thing you know as a real thing, then maybe you should explore a career as a surrogate, okay? Because there are so many other things to life. And the fact of the matter is, people cannot adopt children fast enough because birthing don't make you maternal. Birthing don't make you good at it. I'm not going down this rabbit hole. We get into this whole thing about it's not mom shaming. It's only shaming because you don't have it. That's not it. It's mom shaming because you're weaponizing it. And there's a difference in discussing a thing and weaponizing a thing. And what you're doing is weaponizing the fact that this person is not a mother, not discussing the fact that you are a mother. And that was the intent from the beginning to the end. Y'all, anybody, listen, miss me with the foolishness. Miss me with they're having this conversation about, it was not about the stress of being a mom. The root of the conversation where this even started was about the fact that nobody has time to entertain Crystal or even think about the things Crystal is discussing because they are moms. And she wouldn't understand that because she's not a mom. Tiffany goes into this whole thing about the anxiety she has as a mother after Crystal breaks down that, what you don't know is I've had a miscarriage while you're throwing in my face your motherhood. And Tiffany goes into this whole thing about the anxiety of motherhood. Now, let me tell you something. I have very, very, very candid conversations with my own mother, right? We talk about the fact that your life changes when you become a mother. We talk about the fact that you are introduced to an anxiety that you do not know until you become a mother. That's two things can be true. Yes, you have the worries and anxiety of motherhood, but to say that this person can't even have certain conversations with you, does not qualify for friendship with you, you are dismissive and you diminish them as a person when you sit up and say how basically you can't even consider them because they don't have children. And if that's the case, if having children sets you apart so much, what is the differentiating factor when you are beefing with you do have kids? Is it just personality? Is it just character? Is it just upbringing? Is it just what is the difference when you don't get along with another woman who does have kids? You're weaponizing it. That is why it's an issue. Kyra steps in and tries to make peace, and Robin goes off on her about how, you're not this peacemaker, and stop talking about God. When's the last time you've been to church? See, you the typical heifer. You the typical heifer. It's heifers like you that I had to step out the church to keep from cursing out. I'm telling you right now. First of all, the church and God ain't one and the same. But you don't want to get deep today, all right? People, y'all go and run up in the church, and y'all sitting there every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Sunday, knowing you're going out to do whatever hoeing and rowing you gonna do in the streets when you leave, and you play righteous, and you look down on the ones who really are. Like, girl, y'all, I can't. I'm about to open up a can of worms, and I can't. Oh, Lord. Now, Robin is steady throwing in this girl's face that you're under 30. You are a child. Now, if she tell you damn near 50, you an old lady. If she start calling you geriatric, if she start asking you if you taking your garlic, if she starts saying things like that and asking you what's going on under your wig, how your hormones do, if she starts saying all kind of nasty, ageist stuff to you, then she wrong. See, I'm not the one. I'm not here for the games. I'm not here for the bull. Now, let me tell you something. Y'all know I have the utmost respect for the generations ahead of me. Y'all know I have the utmost respect for elders. However, what you're not going to do is use your position as elder. You're not going to use the authority of elder to abuse. That's what you're not going to do. I don't stand behind that. I don't play that game. We not even getting down like that. I'm going to meet you where you at in the middle of adulthood with that. So she starts saying how she doesn't need to hear from Kyra because Kyra's a child. And girl, you ain't the judge, jury, or executioner. Nobody is here to lay their case out to you. Who are you? But the devil in a blue dress. Who are you? But I don't want to hear it. Nobody gives a damn. We don't want to hear you, but you won't shut up. So Kyra starts explaining how, listen, I tried to reach out to this damn lady because she had a whole breakdown on Instagram when we first started filming. I reached out to her, and next thing you know, I didn't have a breakdown on Instagram. Well, bitch, if you didn't have a breakdown on Instagram, you sure had one on TV. Kyra mentioned how in that whole dinner, the reason that we see her turn her back on Robin is one of the things that Robin said to her is, how many dicks did you have to suck to get here? Let me tell you something. The way this little pink muscle in my mouth is set up, the crying y'all saw at yoga would have looked like tears of joy compared to the breakdown I would have sent Robin into. That bitch would have been so many versions of Pretty Woman and Milk Marie. She would have been so many prostitution whores. Y'all don't eat. I would have dragged her by the kitchen in the back of her neck. You don't understand the way that this woman would have gotten dragged asking me some shit like that. When your client base is clearly a list of Johns. Girl, don't you play with me. Robin would have enlisted in real life therapy after I was done, and I'm not playing. I'm not playing. Because one thing I will do, you play with me, I will beat your ass with the truth. I mean, I will whoop your ass with it. Somebody gonna have to pull me off you with your truth. I'm gonna find every mirror available, and I'm gonna show you from every angle. You better leave me alone. You gonna be creeping, crawling, and crying, trying to touch the hem of his garment for healing. The way somebody likes me is gonna break you down. So for the record, Robin had a full-on breakdown on national TV. To hell with the breakdown on Instagram. And then she comes out and apologizes to Tiana after she flips out, walks off set. Tiffany tries to talk her down. She's screaming and carrying on about, I didn't have a breakdown on Instagram. And Tiffany is trying to tell her, well, baby, you proving her point, because this don't look like somebody who didn't have a breakdown on Instagram. She comes back out after she done snapped at Tiana when Tiana tried to tap her leg under the table like she said a friend should have done. And she told her, don't touch me, and apologized about, well, you know, I'm sorry for getting aggressive. I just didn't like when she said I had a breakdown on Instagram. And Tiana, well, you cleared that up. The crazy, oh my God, the crazy. This was unbearable. They could have kept this psych ward meltdown. Then we get to this mental health conversation. Now, let me tell you how I feel about this. First of all, they're asking Crystal about her, they're basically recapping the whole conversation that was had during the season about mental health. And they're addressing the fact that Crystal was kind of dismissive of Robin's mental health issues. And Crystal is trying to explain herself. Now, first of all, Crystal, now y'all know I don't even like Crystal, but I really feel like in this instance, they being Tiana, Tiffany, and Robin were taking advantage of the fact that Crystal is the least liked, number one, right? Crystal couldn't really get a word out. They're just jumping on Crystal. I gotta cut you off and I gotta stop. And Crystal is literally trying to explain something that actually makes sense. Crystal is saying, listen, I knew that there was a time that Robin was depressed. However, I did not understand it to be a current, relevant, ongoing issue. Tiffany goes into, no, you knew that she had depression, and you know that depression is a mental illness. However, the fact that you have a mental health issue does not require that everyone else be mental health experts. That is an unpopular opinion and an uncomfortable truth that we're going to have to get comfortable with, okay? It is not the responsibility of everyone around you to become mental health experts in order to condition themselves to how you operate in your dysfunction. That's not how this works. It is for you to become an expert in your mental health condition and coping mechanisms that will help you to manage your condition. It is not for you to think that everybody else has to yield to this condition that you have. It is not to think that you get to get away with being mean and nasty and abusive to people because you have this condition. Everybody is dealing with something. And it ain't like you telling me and some other voice telling you to curse my ass out. We're talking about depression and anxiety, and I get the byproduct of those conditions. I have dealt with those conditions, okay? But you don't get to be this nasty, mean person and think that everybody else has to educate themselves about mental health so that you get to just dysfunction all over the place. It does not work like that. Then they have the conversation about Crystal pursuing Kyra as a client, knowing that Kyra is Tiffany's client. And Crystal basically explains that as an entrepreneur, it's my responsibility to pursue business. And if someone has business that they can give to me, why wouldn't I ask them for it? Now, the issue here is going to be that you're going directly to a client of someone who you are saying is your comrade and not your competitor, but you are making yourself their competitor. Now, having said that, they explain that there have been no closings between Kyra and Crystal. Kyra is still closing, I guess, exclusively with Tiffany. And Tiffany, you know, does smile and kind of laugh. And the host says, oh, look at Tiffany. She's happy that there have been, you know, there's nothing going on. And Tiffany gets upset and she's like, let's not do that. Let's not bring an energy here that's not here because I'm not taking joy in Kyra's only closing with me. And Crystal's like, okay, girl, you got it. Yeah, I do have it. Tiffany, like Crystal said, it was a joke. Chill out. Calm down. It's not that deep. Like, she was just saying, oh, it was funny. And you did laugh. You did smile. Like, you were taking joy in the fact that she couldn't take your client, and that's okay. Like, relax. They bring this reunion to a close by talking about Robin's whole idea to make the biggest, baddest brokerage of all black agents and yada, yada, yada. And now, after this girl done acted a complete fool on the internet and on TV, we're supposed to be inspired by this business idea. Like, please get out of here. Like, get out of here. Here she goes talking to Crystal after she just cursed Crystal out about, you know, how many times have I sat in your office and said, if only we could. How, you know, girl, please. She talks about how, you know, she had this grand idea, and here comes Tiffany. I could help you with that. And Tiana, yeah, I could too. Like, let me tell y'all something. This was a complete for the moment, okay? Because if that's the case, y'all would have been down since this dinner. Where y'all been after that dinner about this whole idea and getting down to do business with this crazy lady? That's what I thought. I'm so glad this is over. That's the end of this reunion for me. Whatever else they talked about, I checked out, okay? I can't. I'm really, really done. It started out good, it went south, and then it took a left turn into hell, and then now y'all want to have this We Are the World reunion. Like, please go to hell. I ain't got time. Thank God it's only one part. I mean, it was a complete jambalaya of just everything mixed up and thrown together. That's it. That's all. This is over, and we praise him. Thank you so much for coming down here, listening to me, letting me get it off my chest. As always, I will see you next time. Love you, mean it. Bye.